Welcome to our session, taking you through HRA Cloud Account setup, getting you up and running. Since joining HR Assured, you are likely to have already uploaded your documents for your HR compliance audit. You may have already accessed our telephone advisory service, and you are wanting to start utilizing HRA Cloud. Using all aspects of HR Assured is a powerful combination. You'll be able to rest easy knowing your business is legally compliant, your people are being looked after, and your information is secure in the cloud. This session is part of a series and is the first of the account setup sessions. If you are watching this session, you should have already watched our introduction of what HRA Cloud can do for you. So you'll be aware of the functionality available to you through HRA Cloud. You are likely to be an account administrator early on in your journey with HR Assured, but you could be watching this as a recap or to learn how to complete specific setup items on your account. In this session, we're going to take you through the first steps of setting up your HRA Cloud account to get you up and running for your ongoing use of HRA Cloud. We're going to cover how to add your own branding to your HRA Cloud account, how to set up your branch structure, how to get your employee records into HRA Cloud, how to upload company HR documents, how to upload current and historical employee documents, how to build out your competency library to capture training and qualification information, and how to link competency data to employee records and documents. If you've already had a call with a member of our team, you may find that you have already completed some of these setup items. So let's jump into the demo and get started. This is what you'll see when you log in to your HRA Cloud account. This is the home screen in the management view. I'm currently logged into an Australian account. The look and feel will be the same for our Australian and New Zealand accounts. However, the legal documents and templates within the system will be different to reflect differences in legislation. There will also be some terminology differences between both countries. You should have already attended or watched a recorded version of our introduction session, which takes you through the navigation of the home screen, so I'm not going to cover that in today's session. If you are attending this setup session, you're most likely an account admin and should have access to see and do everything needed in your account. If there is something that you can't see or do, please let us know so we can check your user access settings. We also cover this topic in our session on additional features, training and launch of HRA Cloud, which is the next session in our training series. There are some elements or tabs that you may see on my screen that you don't have access to, but these just may be differences between different accounts. The first step that we're going to go over is going to be to upload your branding to your HRA Cloud account. You can brand your HRA Cloud account with your logo so it looks more familiar to your managers and employees when they log into either the management side or into employee self-service. You can upload your letterhead to be included on any HR documentation that you create from HRA Cloud. You can also update the communication settings for emails that you send out of HRA Cloud. So to set up your branding, you want to navigate to Settings up on the top bar here, and then Account Settings. Under Account Details, you'll see that there is a Branding tab. Click on Edit, and through here, you can select the logo files that you want to display in your account. They'll usually be the same, but if you needed, you can use different logos to be displayed on the management side, which is this section here, and then on the employee self-service side, just here. Scrolling down, for your letterhead, you do need to upload a PDF document. So if you currently have your letterhead as a Word document, save it as a PDF before you upload it by clicking on Select File. You can decide whether you have your letterhead visible on every page of a document you generate from the system or just on the first page, and use this option here to do that. You can update the margin settings through here, but before you do that, you're probably going to want to click on Update and check how your letterhead looks first. Scroll down to this letterhead section, and you can preview a template of how that letterhead is going to come out. I recommend checking a couple of different documents. If there's any overlap between your letterhead and the content of those documents, just edit those margin settings as required. You can also configure the communication settings so that emails and correspondence sent from HRA Cloud can be identified as being sent by your business settings. So click on the Communication tab as the next one along. The default settings are that they are sent by HR Assured. Through here, you can enter a display name, such as your business name. You can also enter an email address, such as a HR email address, and you can upload a copy of your email signature. You should be able to copy and paste your email signature from Outlook or Gmail, or create one directly in the box using the formatting tools available within HRA Cloud. The branding of your HRA Cloud account is now complete, and as you can see, your logo will now display up here on your home screen. The next step that we're going to look at is your branch structure. Within HRA Cloud, you can build a branch structure to help organize your account and employee records. You're going to want to consider your company structure to help you define what the best branch structure will be for you in HRA Cloud. Some clients won't use a branch structure. Others may base their branches on departments or sometimes locations. If you're planning to integrate with a payroll system like Xero, you could structure your branches in the same way you have structured your employees in your payroll system. You can create as many branches or sub-branches as you need to, and they can be categorized as either legal entities or departments or groups. Using branches will structure your account in a way where you can control which managers have access to which branches, and therefore access to which employees within those branches. You can also make documentation available to specific branches or create different documentation to reflect the branch information saved within HRA Cloud, including different branding. Whilst you can update your branch structure later, it is beneficial to have finalized it before entering your employees so you can upload them to the correct branch, as it will take you a bit longer if you correct this later in your setup process. So to navigate to the Branches tab, it's under Settings, Account Settings, and then under Branches. Click on New Branch, and you will see the different options you have available for creating that new branch. You'll want to have your initial branch as a legal entity, as this will get picked up as the legal name of your business when generating documents in the system. Your sub-branches will most likely be classed as a department or group, this second option here, and the system will still pick up that legal entity above when creating documents specifically in those branches. So to create a new branch, enter your branch name and select the parent branch that you want it to sit under. Click Copy to copy that information if it's the same as the parent branch. If you're using the applicant portal within your account, or if you're planning to, you can choose whether this branch will be visible to candidates or not. However, what we do find is if you're using that applicant portal, you may want to control which branch those candidates are going into. So you might just untick that, and you also don't need to include the WHS portal. You most likely only have account admins as users on the account at this stage, who will be able to access all branches. So you will want to give access to this branch to all existing users by clicking on this option here. If you're creating a branch further down the track and you only want certain managers to be able to access that branch, you wouldn't tick this option and you would navigate to the user account settings after creating the branch to give those specific managers access. Once you've created a branch, you can click on it and update some further settings. If you are managing different legal entities, or you have a reason for your branches to have different company branding, there are additional branding settings that you can update at the branch level. Click on branding and then click on edit and check that you're happy with how that's set up. So you can choose default from Ancestry for that branding, and you can also tick to inherit those letterhead settings from the parent account or branch, or upload a different logo and letterhead under here. When you've created the branch, you are going to want to click on that integration tab and add an integration API key. This acts as a unique identifier for the branch. It can be any combination of numbers and letters, and this branch API key is vital for importing employees and API integrations that you may use in the future. If a branch doesn't have an API key, then it will not be possible to import employees directly into it. When you have the branding and structure of your account set up, the next thing that you're going to want to do is enter your employees into HRA Cloud, and we have a number of ways that this can be done. The method we recommend will depend on how many employees you have, and if you currently manage employee files electronically, either using a spreadsheet or within a payroll system. Depending on what payroll system you use, you might be able to avail of one of our integrations. Our most popular integration is with Xero. We also have an import spreadsheet that you can use to upload your employee records into HRA Cloud in bulk. If you don't have many employee records, you may decide to create them individually in your HRA Cloud account. Whichever method you use to enter your employees, we do recommend that you enter an employee ID, as it will assist with further setup items. If you don't have IDs for your employees, have a look in your payroll system and see if you have applied IDs to your employees in there. If not, now is a great time to create them. So to use one of our payroll integrations, navigate to Actions up in your top bar, and then Integrations. Here you will find instructions on the different payroll platforms that we integrate with. Some are two-way integrations, and some use import and export spreadsheets between the systems. Select the payroll system you use and follow the steps provided. If you are going to use one of our integrations, it's a good idea to reach out to the client support team for assistance if you're not quite sure of the instructions before initiating that integration. We also have additional resources on our knowledge base for each of the integrations that we can provide, and we do recommend you read through those instructions carefully prior to starting the integration process. To use our importer, select the third option down of our import Excel spreadsheet options. Then select Import Employee Information and select the most recent version available. There is an example spreadsheet to use as a template up here under the Resources section. You can complete this with your employee data. If you already have your employees recorded in a spreadsheet, either from your own files or as an export from a system we don't integrate with, you can copy the info across into our template spreadsheet, ready to upload into HRA Cloud. Please be mindful that you do need to use this example spreadsheet, as that is a standardized format that needs to be used to import your employees successfully. If you want to get the spreadsheet checked for any errors prior to uploading, you can send it through to our client support team, but we do ask for you to encrypt the email for security purposes if you decide to do this. Once you've uploaded your completed file by selecting it here and clicking Upload, you will get a preview to check that your columns and data look like they're lining up correctly. If you're happy with it, upload your employees into the system. If you're uploading a lot of employees in, sometimes it's a good idea to just upload 1 or 2 to begin with, and then you can add the rest after, once you know that everything is working as you expect it to with that import process. If you choose to create your employees individually directly in your HRA Cloud account, you'll do it from the Employees tab in your document management area. So navigate home to the Employees tab and then select Add Employee. Through here, enter all of the relevant details that you have and then click Create. You can come back to this at any time to add in further details as needed. As a minimum, we do recommend entering their first, last name, email address, and an employee ID if possible. Once you've uploaded your employees using your chosen method, you're going to move on to uploading any company HR documents that you want your managers and employees to be able to access. The main thing to be aware of when uploading company documents is the document type that you enter against the document. This will impact whether it is restricted to just managers viewing it through the management side of HRA Cloud, or whether employees will also be able to view it through their employee self-service portal. For the full list of what document types can be viewed in ESS, there is an article on our knowledge base. The status of the document that you can see in this column just here is also important for an employee to be able to see it through ESS. It needs to have a complete, created, or executed status. Employees cannot see documents if they're in draft or a non-current status, regardless of whatever that document type is. There are a few different areas within HRA Cloud that you can upload company documents, depending on what the documents are. Most documents, other than company policies, can be uploaded to the General Doc tab that you can see here. As depicted by the mobile phone icon, documents saved to this tab can be viewed through employee self-service if they are saved as a relevant document type. So to upload a new document, you simply go to Upload a New Document and choose whether you're uploading a file or whether you are creating a link to a document saved externally from HRA Cloud. When uploading a file, if you select the file before entering the title, the system will populate the title for you as per the document. Once you have selected it, you can then edit that title as required. As mentioned, you are going to want to choose a relevant document type. By default, the document type will be showing as Other Document, as this is not visible to employees in ESS. So by default, you cannot accidentally upload a document that employees will immediately be able to view. As I want employees to see the staff contact list that I'm uploading as an example, I'm going to select ESS document. This is a general document type that will be visible in ESS. If applicable, you can select a version and a signature date for the document that you are uploading. You can use the expiry date field to set the expiry or review date of the document, and then set up any reminders if required for that document. You can also select what branches the document will be visible to. So if you wanted to only make it visible to certain branches within your account, you could select those. If you're going to have it visible to the whole account, just keep it as all branches and click Upload. Once uploaded, you'll be taken into the document details where you can make any edits to the settings or to the details that you've just applied. As you can see down here, this is where you can change the title, the type, or those branches that have got access to that document. In future, if you want to upload a new version, you can do so by clicking on the Upload a New Version button. And down at the very bottom of the screen, here you will see those previous versions. Only the most recent version will show on your General Docs tab. It's only when you click into the details of the document that you can then see those previous versions if required. If you have existing company policies that you're going to continue using and they've been approved through your HR audit, they will be uploaded under this Policies tab. Again, the mobile phone icon depicts that documents can be visible through ESS, and as they are policies, they'll be saved as the policy document type. If you need to upload an existing policy, click on Upload a New Document, and you'll get the same steps that you can follow for that general doc that we just uploaded previously. The only difference is that you won't need to change that document type. It will automatically save it as a policy because we're under the Policy tab. If you do want to upload documents such as procedures under here, once they have been uploaded, they'll be uploaded as the document type of policy, but you then can click on the name of the document, go into the document details and update that document if required. If you don't currently have any company policies or you want to create new policies using the templates written by our parent company, FCB Group, that are provided within HRA Cloud, you can select Create a New Policy and choose from the templates available in that drop-down list. This will take you through a document creation process using a question and answer style format that will generate documents specific to your business and will load them on to your company letterhead. If you do want to get them checked or have specific details or requirements, you can always contact the HRA advisory service to be able to go through the different options with you. So once you've got all of your company HR documents loaded into the system, you're going to want to move on to the next step of setting up your account, which is uploading your employees' current and historical HR documents. Depending on how long you have been operating as a business and the length of service of your employees, you may want to choose to prioritize certain documents to upload and upload the others at a later stage. We have 3 ways that you can upload employee documents. Depending on how many employees you have and how many associated documents, you'll need to choose the method that best suits your circumstances. When you are first setting up HRA Cloud, you'll most likely want to use one of our bulk upload methods that will enable you to upload multiple documents to multiple employee records at the same time. And there are 2 different versions that you can choose from. You'll need to navigate to Actions up in the top right, and then Bulk Upload. The first option allows you to upload documents of the same document type to multiple employee records at the same time. For example, you could upload a document type of employment contract, or ID, or photo. As previously mentioned, document types are important as it may impact who can view the document, including the employee through their self-service portal, and you may want to be able to report on particular document types in the future. We have a report that can do a document exception analysis, so you'd be able to report on employees that do have an employment contract or a police check on their file. You could also do a report that shows you who doesn't have an employment contract or who doesn't have a police check saved against their file. There is an article on our knowledge base that outlines what document types are visible to employees through ESS. However, you will find that a lot of them are likely to be quite obvious and self-explanatory. As mentioned earlier, the default document type that HRA Cloud uses is Other Document, as this doesn't categorize the document and it won't make it visible to employees through ESS. There is another general document type called ESS doc that will ensure the document is visible through ESS. To use this first method, you will need to ensure that the title of the document includes the employee ID and that all of the documents are included in a zip file ready to upload. You'll select the document type here that you're uploading. So for example, if you were uploading all of your staff photos, you would choose photo. If there was a version applicable, depending on what the document is, you would set that. If it's a large upload, it will run in the background, so choose an email address to be notified when it's completed. Select your saved zip file of documents and upload them here, and then simply click upload. So how does this upload work? The system will look at the documents in the zip file. It'll look at the title of the document to identify that employee ID that it should be loaded against. And it will then save that document as the document type that you have selected at this step here. The second bulk upload option is more flexible than the first one, and it has two purposes. You can upload documents without the employee ID in the title, or you can upload documents with different document types at the same time. So to use the second option, you will need to complete a mapping spreadsheet to upload alongside your zip file. You'll see just here, this example. Click on there and it will download that mapping spreadsheet for you. When you have the mapping spreadsheet open, complete the necessary information so that the system knows which document to upload to which employee file. So enter in what the name of the document is that's going to be in your zip file, the employee's ID, and the document type that you want it to be saved as. Click to show the option for the mapping spreadsheet, upload your mapping spreadsheet and your zip file, and click upload. If you don't have many documents, you may choose to upload documents directly to the employee's record individually. Whilst you may not use this method when you first set up HRA Cloud for your business, you are likely to need to use this method with your continued use of HRA Cloud. So to do this, navigate home and navigate to an employee record. Navigate to their Documents tab and click Upload a new document. Again, if you upload the file first, it will pre-populate the title of that document that you're wanting to upload. You can then choose that document type, which again, we've mentioned a number of times is really important. Document type as default will be other document. It will not be categorized and it will not be visible to the employee in self-service. In this instance, for the document I'm uploading, I'm going to choose the Working with Children check document type so that it's categorized. If required, select a version and a signature date or an expiry date and click upload. Once you have uploaded that document, you'll see some possible action items. You also have the upload a new version for employee documents as well, and we went through that with the general documents. The details section just below this is where you can update any of those settings, the document type, expiry date, etc., either now or if you need to make amendments to them in the future. If we go back to the employee's file by clicking on this blue link of their name, you'll see that that document has now been uploaded to their document file. She'll be able to see it through self-service because it's got an applicable document type and the status is listed as complete. A document will have a status of draft if you have set it to that through the details on the document, or if you have only partially created it through one of our checklists or directly from the Create a New Document button. We haven't covered competencies in relation to training and qualifications yet, but for documents that are in relation to training and qualifications, you can either upload them through one of the methods I've just shown you, or you can upload them individually to the applicable training competency at the time of uploading that, which will also save it to this Documents tab. For setting up your account, you'll probably want to include these types of documents in one of the bulk upload methods to get them uploaded in the most efficient way. If you are going to link a document that's related to any training and qualifications to the relevant competency, which we'll be covering off next in this session, you don't need to include an expiry date on the document, as you will enter an expiry date directly against the competency. In regards to the Create a New Document functionality, the button that you can see just here, we do say that wherever possible, we recommend creating documents through the relevant checklist rather than directly on the employee's file. This ensures that all applicable process steps are also covered to assist with compliance, as well as creating the document required. There will, of course, however, be times where you may need to create documents directly on the employee file, and this is why that functionality is there. We will cover how to use checklists in our session on empowering managers with HRA Cloud, as in this particular session, we're focusing on the setup of your account rather than the ongoing use. Next, we're going to look at training and qualifications and the functionality that's available to you through HRA Cloud. So if you navigate to Settings in your top bar, and then into Training and Qualifications, this will take you into the Training and Qualifications Administration area. HRA Cloud's Training and Qualifications functionality allows businesses to track, record, and report on their employees' competencies. The terminology of a competency can cover qualifications, training, skills, licenses, tickets, medical information, capabilities, and also professional registration or memberships. In short, you can use this functionality to capture anything you need to track on an employee's record as part of their role or as a general requirement. As you can see, if I scroll down to my library just here, there are a number of different things that you can capture. These are all just examples. Your library will come blank for you to be able to fill it in. When applied to an employee, all documentation, data, and expiry dates tracked against competencies are stored on their file. This can ensure compliance and will trigger a range of automated alerts for any competencies that have expiry dates listed against them. To use this functionality, you first need to create your own library of competencies within here. You can also create roles to assist you to allocate multiple competencies to workers' records consistently. You'll then need to assign those roles or individual competencies to your employee records and update any details about them that you already have, including linking to or attaching related documents. To get your account set up, you can utilize one of our import options to create your competency library and also to add competencies and achievement data to your employee records. So to do it in bulk, navigate to Actions, Integrations. We're going to select that Excel spreadsheet option again, and this time we're going to choose to import competency information. The first of the example documents in here under Resources enables you to fill in the competency information and then upload it. This is what will build your competency library in bulk. The second example document will allow you to include the achievement data for your employees, as well as that competency information. Fill whichever spreadsheet in that you are wanting to utilize, upload it here, and then click Upload. Follow the prompts that are available on your screen as you do so. If you don't want to use our importer, or you want to add additional competencies individually at a later stage, navigate back to Settings, Training and Qualifications. Now, if you have used the importer, it will have populated this competencies tab for you with your library. However, to create a new competency individually, we simply click on New Competency. The name, description, and type that you can see just here are all compulsory fields. We recommend also choosing the applicable ESS document type for the intended associated documents, because doing this will ensure that the system automatically categorizes documents that are uploaded against that competency through ESS accordingly. You can also choose to assign that competency to a group. A group is like a heading, and it'll help to organize your library. So things such as qualifications, professional development, memberships, they're all groupings that just help to populate that library and make it a little bit more organized for you. As mentioned, you can use roles, so this next tab along on the left, to allocate one or more competencies to a record. When you allocate a role to a record, the competencies that are assigned to the role, so if I click on All Staff General, for example, they will all be applied to the employee record with a status of missing. You can then update the relevant details for each particular employee record. To create new roles, click on New Role, enter your name, your description. You can choose an identifier or a group as well, and then simply drag and drop those competencies that apply to that specific role into that area. So now we've gone through how you complete the training and qualifications administration setup for your account, but there will be some further steps for you to complete on the employee records. So at the moment, we've just done the administration part. If you don't use the competency importer that includes achievement data, you will need to add the competency to your employee records. If you choose to use roles, you will also need to add these to your employee records. And lastly, you will also need to link any associated documents to that competency record as well. So let's jump across to the training tab on an employee record and see how it all ties together. Navigate to your employee record and then to their own training tab. If you have used the importer with achievement data, you'll see competencies already applied to your employee records. If not, this screen will be blank when you first click on it. Regardless of whether you used the importer, if you have set up your roles in your administration area, you're going to want to assign the roles to the employee. This will then group any competencies already applied underneath the title of that role. You can also remove roles if needed by clicking Unassign Role, unassigning them like that. When a role is removed, all existing competencies that are either completed, expired, or in progress will be retained, as you can see these two on the screen have been, against the employee file under the individually assigned section, so you don't lose any of that competency information that's already been loaded. If we were wanting to assign a role, we would click on Assign Role, choose the role that you're wanting to apply, and click Assign. As you can see, some of those ones that were under my individually assigned have now been listed and against this particular role. If in future you add further competencies to the role in the Training and Qualifications Administration area, it will automatically apply that competency to the employee record with a status of missing, where the details can then be completed by management or the employee themselves through ESS. You can also add competencies individually to the employee's record by selecting Add Competency, assign an existing competency, and choosing the relevant competency from the list. Click Next, and you'll then be able to fill in those details. If you don't yet have those details, you can just set that status to missing. Again, I'm going to change that document type and click Submit. As you can see, that's now been loaded against their file, but with a status of missing. So that would be showing for the employee to complete this through their self-service portal. If you have the details and you're wanting to upload them yourself, you can click on Update, update the details, and change them as required. Hit Submit, and that will then be listed against their file. You can see here that the expiry date has been pre-populated in that. That's because with that competency, I have a default expiry date of 1 year listed against it in those administration settings. So there's a few things like that that you can apply just to make things a little bit easier through that management side of your training and qualifications. You're going to need to complete the next step, regardless of whether you've used our importers or whether you have applied competencies individually on an employee record, as we did just there. So depending on your setup so far, it may slightly alter the actions you'll need to take to link your competency records to any associated documents. If you haven't yet uploaded a document to the employee's file that is associated with a competency, you can do it through that update button on the competency. So if we click back onto Update, Upload Document, I can then select a file and upload the relevant document in relation to that. You'll see here by the paperclip, that document is now attached. And if I now go to their employee file, to the Documents tab, I can also see that that document has been saved across here as well. If the employee was to upload that document through their self-service portal, again, it would be uploaded under this Employee Documents tab as well. If you have already uploaded the document, which you may have done individually or using that bulk upload functionality for documents that I showed you earlier, you'll simply need to click on the Update button. And rather than clicking Upload Document, you would choose Attach a Document and choose the relevant document from the employee's documents. So that rounds out the last setup step that we're going to complete in this session. So you've just completed your first account setup session, covering all the main elements you need to get set up to start utilizing HRA Cloud. Depending on the specific requirements of your business, there will still be some further setup steps that you're likely to need to complete. We cover these in the next session. The final session that you can attend will take you through all of the elements of how to use HRA Cloud on an ongoing basis. In the next setup session, we will cover how to set up the organization chart, security and user access for managers, employee professional development and how to load that against an employee record. We'll provide an overview of our online performance review module, an overview of our work health and safety module. We'll cover contractors and volunteers, the Seek integration and applicant portal, and lastly, how to launch HRA Cloud. If you need a recap of what we have covered in this session, you can access our knowledge base where you'll find specific articles to support each of our training sessions. The articles will provide the written instructions of all the elements we've covered today, plus lots more. If you require further assistance in setting up your HRA Cloud account and any of the steps that we've covered in this session, our client support team are here and ready to help. The contact details are on the screen at the moment. Thank you for watching. I hope that you found this session helpful, and don't forget to attend or watch our session on how to set up the additional features in your HRA Cloud account.